Newly announced Dumbledore actor John Lithgow has responded to the numerous LGBTQ plus activists that have been raging on social media, demanding that he step down from the role because he is supporting J.K. Rowling and her activism against the nonsense that is transgender ideology that has infected much of the West and especially affected the United Kingdom, where they think that men can become women and women can become men. So Lithgow confirmed he was going to play the role of Dumbledore back in March, telling Screen Rant some wonderful people are turning their attention back to Harry Potter. That's why it's been such a hard decision. I'll be about 87 years old at the wrap party, but I've said yes. A month later, which was earlier this month, and HBO officially confirmed he would take on the role, sharing in a press release that he would play Albus Dumbledore. And then they announced 5 other individuals who would be in the role. Obviously, the most controversial being the casting of Severus Snape, given that they are race swapping him with the actor Papa Esedu. Since then, LGBTQ plus activists have been campaigning to get him to step away from the role because of J.K. Rowling's political positions against transgender activists in the United Kingdom. On his most recent Instagram post that he shared back in March, I think it was March 18, so this has been going on before he was officially announced, there's numerous people that have been basically telling him to stop. You got this guy, Mark Rivolo, saying here, "You're ruining your legacy by doing this Potter garbage. After being in Garp and Love is Strange, you should know better. Shame." Another person, Alyssa Thalman, said, "Mr. Lithgow, I've been a huge fan of yours over the years and even remember that time you portrayed a trans woman in The World According to Garp. I am begging you to take a stand now, especially in light of the UK Supreme Court decision to step down from the new Harry Potter J.K. Rowling project." Just to be clear, that UK Supreme Court decision confirms that men are men and women are women. It's really sad that a Supreme Court has to make that ruling because you have people like Alyssa Tallman here that are just utter lunatics and are just rejecting obvious truths in order to push this evil ideology that leads people down paths of destruction. Nevertheless, Tallman said, "Furthermore, I do hope you encourage the rest of the cast to do the same. No amount of money or franchise esteem is worth the cost of trans lives. Thank you for your consideration, and I hope you do the right thing." This is what these people always do, right? They are always trying to shame people to promote evil and to support evil rather than what is good and just. And so they're saying, like, you need to step down because it could cost trans lives. Well, no, you pushing this evil ideology is what is really hurting people's lives. One needs only look at the plethora of stories of people that have been subjected to this ideology, that bought into this ideology, and now are clearly suffering from it if they haven't already offed themselves, which is highly probable when people do indeed engage in this stuff. And it's evil and it's wrong. And that's why this needs to be opposed at all costs, because it is destroying people. And we don't want people to continue down this evil path that leads to their destruction. We don't want people to be doing this because they are made in the image and likeness of God, and they have inherent dignity because of that. And that's why we should be opposing this stuff. But they continue to do this. I mean, here's more. I mean, it's all over. I mean, I just went down and they're all like this. This person from What's Up 99 says, "Some of you trans people may die, but that is a sacrifice I am willing to make to line my own pockets." Again, the same shaming tactic. It is just gaslighting to the extreme. Your legacy will forever be that you threw some of the most marginalized and vulnerable people on the planet under the bus for your own gain. We will not forget. Stamata says, "I used to look up to you. I have adored your performances. I am so heartbroken that you would choose to appear in the new Harry Potter series. It actually pains me to think that you are not the stand-up man that I always thought you were." Again, this is just gaslighting, emotional manipulation to the extreme. And it's fake and it's false because it's not true sympathy. It's not true empathy. They are literally trying to make you sympathize for the devil, for evil. Another one says, "If I were a beloved actor who's made quite a show of rejecting right-wing hatred and bigotry, I would most certainly reconsider participating in a production that stands to benefit one bigot's crusade against a vulnerable, marginalized population," as she has so gleefully stated. I mean, these people don't even know what J.K. Rowling actually stands for. She's totally fine with transgender ideology. She just doesn't like that it's taking over the feminism that she stands behind. She's made this abundantly clear in a number of different things that she's written, even on X. She's just opposed to the political movement. She's not actually opposed to the ideology at large, whereas I'm actually opposed to the ideology at large as well as the political movement, because the ideology is evil. People cannot become the opposite sex of the way that they were created. Men cannot become women and women cannot become men. This is coded into our DNA. No amount of change or attempt to change this, I should probably say no, will actually change it. You can't do it. It is impossible. No matter how many drugs you take, no matter how many surgeries you perform, you will still be a man if that is the way that God created you, and you'll still be a woman if that is the way that God created you. You cannot change that. And then Haley BCU says, please use your platform to speak up for trans lives instead of taking blood money. We know you're better than this. So again, just total emotional manipulation. You can see the same thing over and over again. And it's on all the comments. Nearly, you just scroll through it and it's all throughout there. But he addressed these activists while speaking with the Times over in the UK. First, he shared that he was not expecting these activists to try and shame him into leaving the role. He said, no, absolutely not. Of course, it was a big decision because it's probably the last major role I'll play. It's an 8-year commitment, so I was just thinking about mortality and that this is a very good winding down role. I thought, why is this a factor at all? I wonder how J.K. Rowling has absorbed it. I suppose at a certain point I'll meet her and I'm curious to talk to her. He then made it clear the criticism has not deterred him from taking on the role, saying, oh, heavens, no. So despite all of these people trying to shame him into stepping down from this role, he is rejecting them. And he should reject them because their attempt to shame him is fake and it is manipulative and it's based on lies. And we should be rejecting this stuff as he is doing here. So good to see that John Lithgow is rejecting this stuff, saying no to these activists. More and more people need to do this. Stand up to them. Say no. It's a very powerful word, and more people need to start using it. But glad to see Lithgow is standing up to them. This is something I feel like we wouldn't really see even a couple of years ago. I remember actors were indeed bowing to these mobs for the most part, and they were indeed canceled, and they would actually be pressured to leave the roles by the studios and the agents and everything that goes on there. So maybe a little bit of change happening on that side as well that we can kind of glean from this. But let me know what you guys make of what John Lithgow had to say here. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always, always speak the truth.
Afraid of them. Why? Why would you be afraid of the people? Why are you not afraid of God instead of man?